Alright, so I have made 7 videos reading over the Facebook post rants that Fiona Harvey posted from April 25th through May 11th. And shortly after May 11th, Fiona Harvey announced she would be suing Netflix for defamation of character in the neighborhood of $170 million. So shortly after that lawsuit was filed, Fiona took down all of her crazy, unhinged Facebook posts and made her account private, which you know she did because of the pending lawsuit and her attorney telling her to get rid of all that evidence that could possibly be used against her. So she took it down in early/mid-May and kept her account on private and was relatively quiet on social media following the advice of her lawyers. But then around August 31st/September 1st, somewhere in that neighborhood, she opened her Facebook account back up and went on a wild Facebook posting binge like a recovered alcoholic going back to their favorite bar to get plastered after being sober for 5 years. So, like a dog returning to its vomit, Fiona Harvey returned to Facebook against legal counsel and dropped another barrage of unhinged Facebook rants. So even the prospect of her winning $170 million was not more powerful than her commitment to drop more nuggets of wisdom for the masses. Even though, shortly after, she took said posts down and put her account back on private. But lucky for us, and for her legal team, I was able to screen record and screenshot most of the posts before she took them down. Alright, so let's check them out. Test. Finally, with reference to the Labour Party, I have had nothing to do with them since 2000. I do not vote for them. I do not speak to their dodgy politicians. I don't associate with criminals. Most of us are actively moving out of the UK. Anything Labour is frankly a disaster area, and again, no one in their right mind in America is voting for the Democrats. Now, you all have a good weekend and stop being online trolls. One last thing, can people stop asking me in the street, that is once in a blue moon when I do go out, did I sleep with Richard Gadd? The reply is the same. I'm not registered blind and deaf, thanks. Bye-bye. And no, I won't be doing a stand-up show. That is rather the preserve of talentless wonders, thanks very much. Richard Roth, attorney, also raised on the Piers Morgan show that R is a capital offense, and why is no journalist looking for this alleged abuser? Well, I've got my own thoughts on that, as one would imagine. 5 names have been mentioned to me. I just wish they'd catch this alleged abuser at large and stop giving me all the flack. I'm not going to do it, but 3 calls from me and I could find that abuser if he exists at all. I frankly have a life still and I intend to live it. I only mention this alleged abuser because it's been done to death in show after show and tabloid after tabloid, so I just thought I'd throw in my tuppence worth. Not that anyone is listening. Bye for now. We are going for a nice meal. But Fiona, I thought you were afraid to go outside because you were so afraid of all the death threats, remember? What a lovely lunch we just had. I'd post you photos, but I've got too many stalkers. And I didn't go to Park School for Girls in Glasgow Uni like my stalkers. I went to good universities and know the law. Tell you what, as a gesture of goodwill, I'll pay for Gadd's R counseling since his current shrinks don't seem to be able to sort him out. I went into the Holly Arms because I'd sprained my leg and it was somewhere to eat. I didn't go in looking for me in or random dropouts from Glasgow Uni Theatre School. I'm never scraping the bottom of the barrel like that. But the Holly Arms has had so many complaints lately, it will be shut down, as will other bars. People have had enough. If the barmaid, and there were many and many barmen, wants to come to me or Richard Roth with her evidence, that's fine. We will protect her anonymity. This is the one who went to the Daily Mail. I'm surprised they published her evidence. Normally, all reporters are threatened by Farrer's Richard Gadd so-called lawyers in London. Stories are changed depending on what Farrers want people to write. And they call this a free country, eh? Yes, free for certain people depending on whether you went to Park School for Girls, Madras College, and Oxford Uni Theatre School. Well, I didn't, and I refused to be intimidated by them any longer. Felt sorry for me, my ass. Abused me to make himself money, which currently Netflix won't pay him because they are all feuding. Glasgow Uni produces these types. Sons and daughters of alcoholic lawyers and failed academics. If you want to know the law, listen to what me and good lawyers are saying. Don't spend hours listening to failed lawyers, failed counsel, and theater studies people, for God's sake. Today I also wanted to thank Lisa very much for helping with my shopping. She knows who she is, a little star. Facebook really need to get their act together too and remove the 25 false accounts, not mine. They need to stop my friends being harassed, and their settings features don't work. It's a shambles with a failed MP in charge. And if you are some tabloid so-called reporter, don't come to me at every stage of proceedings and bug the living daylights out of me for a comment. There are a great number of stages in an action like this. Just don't meddle in matters you cannot comprehend. I am not paid to do your jobs. Mind you, the broadsheets are just as bad. If this matter goes to proof trial, that could be a year from now. Do not listen to idiot criminal baristas with their views. This is a civil defamation action and has nothing to do with stalking. Hey, you heard it here first. No criminal jobbing barristers are involved in this suit. I sacked that months ago. Have a pleasant evening. I intend to. There was something else I wish to clarify. I will live wherever I want, so will my nearest and dearest. We would not be paying any cognizance to Laura Walker's ramblings on Piers Morgan's show weeks ago. I put him back on the map inadvertently and unwittingly, sadly, and he abused my trust. His staff lied to me. It was shocking. I was given a list of questions. He asked none of them. On his show, she dictated where I would live. Well, it doesn't work like that. I will buy wherever I want, and the standing joke in the legal profession is now get clearance from Walker where you want to buy. It's pathetic. People were wetting themselves laughing over this. It's play school politics. I will live where I want, marry who I want, and date who I want. Yeah, Fiona, except none of the people that you want to marry or date want to marry or date you. It's called freedom. It used to be taught in comprehensive schools in Scotland. Oh, but I forgot. I've to be called Stalker Jailbird because two people from rather dodgy private schools in Scotland say so, because people in the Labour Party say so, and I'm supposed to be a slob. Dream on. What planet are they living on? As far as the Labour Party is concerned, John Smith, KC MP, was the best leader we never had. I got on well with Dewar, who is dead. Indeed, both are, but Walker put that in the Stalker article. I asked Gad not to spread it around when it was clear he had spread it around to upset me. I told the Labour Party to take a hike, tore up my card, and now you've got a totally ineffective government, and the MPs are usually failed councillors from years ago and Stepford wives and hubbies. It's a mess. Riots, rogue landlords, parties, and Ibiza with ill-fitting dresses and fat little tummies, so I'm glad not to be a part of it. It is frankly a national embarrassment. I vote Tory or SNP or Reform, so that's enough clarification for one day. You'll like my singing albums when they come out. I'm sure of it. Oh yeah. If anyone has not yet caught Fiona Harvey's amazing rendition of J-Lo's classic Jenny from the Block, you definitely need to check that out.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that are cast. I'm just Jenny from the block. Have a lot. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Have a lot. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Have a lot. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Do 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 do.
And remember, do keep Richard Gadd in your prayers tonight as he plays the professional victim everywhere he goes because he's got nobody except his parents who pay for everything. His agent who runs to the Daily Mail 6 times a day since forever, his publicists, his Netflix lawyers, his London lawyers, all of his theater director pals, down Soho, Clerkenwell, Oxford and Glasgow Uni, his nurse sister, his ex-cronies, Holly Arms, are the ones with the antecedents. The rest don't want you to know him, his criminal jobbing barrister pals. All have been briefing me for years, and of course his besties Laura Walker and the hippopotamus Jessica Gunning, who just has to be a size 28 and hates my guts. Poor old Gadd on his own my ass. He organized this pile-on with me. He's organized it for years and well, it's fodder for the press. Well, I want no part of it. I will pursue the legal action, that's it. His agent will take 20% anyway of his worldwide earnings. He has been paid nothing by Netflix while the litigation goes on. It is confirmation bias. It has to stop. Let's have a little joke to end the night, but I was told it as a true story, and I think it may well be knowing how incompetent some of the English lawyers are. Woman goes into a Mayfair, been going there years. Hairdresser thinks she's an idiot. FFS, FFS, all sorts of explicitives. What's wrong, he says. I went on holiday and the others messed up. Oh, you work for Netflix, don't you, says he. Yes, I'm the head of the department in London. Sounds like the kind of idiots down here who get their CPE thing, and that's all they have, and go and work for Netflix. Knowing London as I do, well, I think it's a true story. One of the many I'm hearing about Netflix and Gadd. Hope they catch that alleged abuser, though. The rumor also in theater lovey circles is the alleged abuser paid Gadd for his silence and or threatened him with legal action. That's London for you, a cesspit of depravity. Thank God I'm leaving it. My grand and her family lived in then East End of London for 500 years anyway. They are turning in their graves at the state of London in general. Anyone halfway normal wants out. The media, both tabloid and broadsheets, have been totally out of control, in this case both sides of the border. Incessant requests for interviews. I'm doing none. Incessant intrusion. It's very clear to me none of these reporters can read or write. I will not appear in any articles with editors wishing to put me and Gadd together. Yeah, I'm so sure all of the editors just so desperately want for Richard Gadd and Fiona to get together. That makes a lot of sense. Just look at the mess they have made of that today. A pig's breakfast to sell grotty rags. We had Piers Morgan begging me to do a documentary with me after his show. Then he slagged me off in his columns. Just what planet are these people on? Dennis Quaid went on Piers Morgan. Loved Dennis. Everyone wanted to be Ellen Barkin in The Big Easy. He was gorgeous. Is Fiona telling the truth, he asked Dennis, i.e. I'm back on the map. This is my best show ever. She got more hits than Ronaldo in less time. This is what his lying staff were boasting. Yes, said Dennis. Then Piers, because of his bad private schooling, prodded as prosecutor failed prosecutor. Yes, I've been told about this crap, but I teal not to watch some of them. The Laura Walker one, I've been told she was hysterical not to watch because the folk that did watch it ended up screaming explicitives, so folk had to watch all this crap for me. Really good friends, most are lawyers, and don't want their law firms attacked by the usual suspects, so I haven't asked to give affidavits. My good pal John Hala, others did, and we have spares. I still have about 800 articles to read where Gadd and Walker have been running to the press every 2 minutes. Oh, what fun! Since Livingston, the press have got worse. None of these guys have degrees, and the oldies that have, well, seem to have been off uni a lot. It's a bit like the Netflix draftings. Impossible to read. No, I think that's your posts, Fiona, that are impossible to read. Rehashed stories all the time. Would not have passed grade 5 primary school when I was there. How they got my phone? No, I don't know. Someone in Camden will have given that out. That phone is now in the bin. The American press is better. It's not so imbecilic in character. As for the Netflix draftings, well, their motion to dismiss was really their entire case in one motion. That would not have passed first year law when I was there. It was a joke. I've never seen that done ever. There are various stages to a court procedure in civil cases. They have lumped it all together. It was full of incompetences, lies, and some of their witnesses have antecedents, I think, i.e., those giving affidavit evidence. Everyone found it difficult to read, like the writers had, had been on drugs. That was the sense I got. So this is not fun. Then the press phoned me every 2 minutes. No, they should be phoning Richard Roth. Chris Dahl was sacked by me months ago for incompetence and other nefarious matters. These jobbing criminal English counsel should not be interfering in civil cases. A greater degree of intellect is required, frankly. It's like the other criminal barrister who put his criminal client on my phone in the wee small hours of the morning for weeks on end, saying she was a publicist. He's based in Essex. She was a moron who couldn't read and write. Then she said she was a tabloid reporter. Maybe I should write a book about the press, the media circus. The Leveson inquiry was a waste of time and money. I told them it would be. All the good journalists, like Kirsty Wark, have retired. All the idiots are left. Then we've got this Neanderthal who has an online petition to have me killed. It's okay, he's been reported to police. I was given his real name today. Did Richard Gadd intellectually weak though? He is really think none of this would happen? Did Netflix? No, they knew. This is not the first time they have done this or tactics. Let's shope. It's the last. It's the biggest lie in television history. This case is about identification and defamation. If their lawyers think it's about stalking, they should have been kicked out of law school day one. Lawyers are not supposed to mislead the public. Netflix lawyers do it constantly. So do some of the affidavit-s. I had been expected to drop this case through bullying and intimidation by Netflix and their emissaries. That will not be happening. I don't want this happening to anyone else. I at least have a social conscience and ethics. If they did, they would look for the alleged abuser who has caused all the problems. If Gadd has made that up, God help him. I've been given 5 potential names from reporters and others. If he does exist, the reporters are covering that up. What sick people they are. Good night. Sleep tight. Apparently and allegedly, I have pinched Gadd's bottom, according to Gadd, who is hardly Mr. Credibility 2024. Some incompetent junior counsel thinks I should have got 8 years for that. Problem is, I didn't do it. Also, even if I did, it's hardly crime of the century. What the hell are they teaching them at bar school here? It's deeply worrying. Papers and papers about bottom pinching. There is potentially an assaulter on the loose who could do it to others, and he's making up stories about bottom pinching. Is that what they teach them at Glasgow Uni Theatre College and Oxbridge Theatre School? One does wonder! To put it in context, drugs being sold in and out of the Holly Arms. At night, Winehouse bought drugs there. Everyone a Camden alcoholic, staff being sacked and abusing people left, right, and center. Abuse allegations, assault allegations, raids by immigrations in the drug squad, money being stolen by staff from the safe when Grinking owned it, all sorts other cool stuff, but Peace D Resistance I allegedly pitched through Gadd's bum. Well, stop the traffic. This is news, eh? Not to mention one barman had 8 girlfriends all taken to the wee room upstairs. Better not mention him. His sister is a celebrity? It's all come out in the wash. Boom, boom. Will I do a book about the Holly Arms, the real story? Yes, the Holly Arms, Castlehaven Road, what an amazing establishment. It keeps being set on fire and getting rebuilt like much of Camden Market, which has been up for sale for 3 years. John Clancy worked there at the time of the Gadd implosion. He had 8 different women who all discovered each other and there was a cat fight. He's the younger brother of Cabby Clancy married to Peter Couch, and they are supposed to be English national treasures. All I know is one of these women, a Spanish lassie called Sandra, came up to me in tears, Camden High Street, shaking and sobbing. She'd been sacked and not paid by then manager Craig Seymour. She was shaking. They picked on her no end. She says I was actually sacked for sleeping with John. John, who Abby Clancy's brother. I'm Scottish. I don't keep track of all these English national treasures, but she'd had some run-in with a lawyer years ago, so recognizes the name. So women got sacked in there for sleeping with the wrong barman, and then they obviously wanted rid. I wondered if she was the brave barmaid ex who went to the Daily Fail. Slipped up their Farrer solicitors, eh? That one got through. Only in Camden would a place like the Holly Arms be allowed to thrive. Corrupt labor, control licensing, see environmental health do nothing, bribes to licensing police, late lock-ins. Blind eyes turn to drug raids. This is Camden Council corrupt to the core, and I think you will find like that newly elected Labor MP, Camden Council are rogue landlords living in terrible chronic. But never mind, the MP staff do nothing but leak emails to the Sun newspaper, another criminal offense breach of data protection being just one. Never mind, thought the Prime Minister is another one with no proper law degree. It's in jurisprudence with the obligatory Oxbridge back, which is also not a law degree, and the rest of us still owe the HS2 displacement money. And this is the way it goes, Inc. Andom, which is why all the rock stars and professionals have moved out. Good riddance to it. The bit that got me was the fashion designer on Baby Reindeer who also ran off to the Daily Fail. Wonder if he's up for an Emmy too. Wouldn't surprise me. I think he would be an H2 who loves women, especially women with a brain. He has never met me, says I looked across between Heather on EastEnders, Pam Ferris, and his old school teacher and someone else. Contraventions of the Equality Act all over the place there, but he's in theater land so thinks he's immune from prosecution or anything. The joke is that Martha character Jessica Gunning was at some crap drama college Heather from EastEnders went to and some other person mentioned in a Daily Fail article. They have all done considerably better than her, and I was not even consulted as style consultant. LOL. Never mind if she's unemployed again, Gad can always write a play for her called the called the hippo with the big bulging eyes, who A, looks a state. He can continue the animal theme. He claims he wrote Baby Reindeer, although I think there were Netflix lackey helpers who weren't that bright. He's now doing Lions, but they are not giving him permission to film in Glasgow. No doubt that's a true story again, and that's about male abuse again. Just for a change not. Don't change the winning formula. I also had a childhood toy, I'm told, called Mickey Wee Monkey my relatives tell me about. That could be the next one since I'm the muse, LOL. One of the producers on Piers Morgan's show kept screaming that night, Gad is finished, and I should write Baby Reindeer too. No, I've got other talents, thank you. Said producer took weeks to pay John Hallis' invoice and I've been paid nothing. England is rather a bad cartoon, is it not? Have a great day, everyone. I intend to. Oh, Fiona, what has prompted you speaking out after so long? It was that line in a tabloid rag yesterday. Oh, I'll be caught up with her forever, said Gad. What a damn cheek. He and Laura Walker started this media circus, not me. I want to be nowhere near them. I don't want my namer and theirs in the same sentence. They crib ideas off each other. They harass me to high heaven. She even had me door stopped at my old addressee when they started. We do not mix in the same circles. My friends are not failures, and they're all really clever. And I can tell you all, the reporters who approached me had not even seen Baby Reindeer. They watched it latterly. No one in England could stay sober enough. They fell asleep. They fell asleep. We have had people watch it with a fine-tooth comb, and people have had to Google up for me things the dramatist person have said because I can't bear reading it. It's so nasty. Researchers have worked for free, and I'm very grateful to them, in particular one who shall remain nameless or they will attack him. People have literally had to read this stuff over to me in particular prominent lawyer friends. They are appalled but not surprised, given to dramatis persona. I'm surprised I've got any hair left, but then I've got great hair and the best hairdresser in John Holla. Superstar. I am just one of a long list of women in the UK battered by idiot male journalists. Katie Price gets horrific treatment. That girl has done incredibly well in life. She's a success story and I couldn't have copied with with a disabled child the way she has, I don't think. The battering she gets by idiot reporters is frankly ridiculous. The battering Meghan Markle got was ridiculous. Carolyn Flax, another one ridiculous treatment. Madonna, biggest star in the world, was accused by tabloids of phoning up a Chelsea bar for men, a bar like the Holly Arms. It's a London thing. I, like Madonna, am not a member of DesperateShag.com. Carrie Katona, terrible treatment. The list goes on unless one is a national treasure and tows the line with the Labour Party and royal family. Who made up this list of national treasures anyway? Maybe folk who went to Park School for Girls and failed theater schools perhaps. If they can attack Madonna, they can attack anyone. The jibes from Graham Norton when she did that dance video were outrageous. She has and did have a great figure, great shape. Was Graham Norton not in the Soho Mafia for years? I don't even watch TV now because all it is softball shows with failed politicians, failed actors, and failed comedians. I can't stand it. I listen to music all day when I can. The way certain women are treated in the British media is appalling. And then the Z-rate women journalists chime in. It makes me vomit blood, it really does. Forget the H. palaver you get from the Holly Arms. This is far worse. I've got a name for British journalists. It's bobbleheads. As for Piers Morgan's lot, the regulators need to shut them down. I've never met such a bunch of liars in all my life. Sky TV and everyone else has been on the phone too. The whole world. Someone in Camden gave the entire media my number. Some non-existent lawyer they hire H-Quad assured me there would be a duty of care. The SRA need to investigate that one. Shall be one of these with few stupid English qualifications too. I thought at the time perhaps Piers should not have been sacked by GMTV, but I don't watch morning TV. I'm not English and didn't fail all my school exams. The lack of intellect was shocking. Many of these presenters failed at primary school. So being Scottish, we regard people like Piers as non-entities. Meghan Markle got him off telly. I think the regulators need to seriously looky at the way he and his staff behave, surrounded by incompetent counsel and lawyers. Let's put it this way. If I sent any of them to the chip shop for chips, they'd come back with a pickled dunion. There's Morgan's column written for the week so he can go off drink Pims all week. Reporters with no IQ also phone me up and say Gad and Jessica are gonna be on Strictly and in the Jungle. What do you think? Reply, get off my phone. Who are you talking about? Alright, so that's about it for this video. As of now, I think I've covered all of her Facebook posts over these 8 videos. If she posts any more in the future, I'll try to cover those on another video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing as I am working on some other Fiona Harvey content to upload soon. Thanks for watching. God bless.